Actually, I'm going to check and see if we have any eggs in here. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Hi, without him biting my leg. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got 2 in here. Okay, nobody's sitting on them, so I can leave those there. You guys want to go out? I'll give them fresh water when I put them away. You guys should go out. Go on out. No, you don't need to fence fight with the boys. You can go out. Come on out, ladies. Let's go. Come on. There you go. Go be ducks. Hi, kids. You guys want to come out? We're going to go for a walk, okay? Wish I'd brought something to drink. Oh, dear. We've got a broody. Okay, this isn't great. We've got a broody in there. She's chirping. I left some eggs in there last night thinking I didn't need to collect them. Well, she's standing over the eggs right now, so she's not actually incubating them. She's just getting ready to start incubating. I can tell by the way she's standing up. So I won't worry about taking them away from her right now. Okay, let's go let the goats out. And I'm going to be hiking. I am not dressed for hiking. Check me out here. I'm in a dress, pair of flip-flops. Not good. Hey, mommies. Hi, baby boys. Hey, everybody. Okay, plug your ears because this gate makes a terrible screechy sound. Unless, well, maybe it doesn't if it goes that way. It kind of does. Ugh. Okay, let's go for a walk, kids. There we go. Let's go. Don't step on my feet. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, let's go. See all that stuff on Nani, the black goat? That's all cashmere. She's got a lot for her type of goat. I mean, obviously, no one's going to be taking her cashmere and making a sweater out of it. There's not enough. Okay, we're going to be walking way down there. There's a new pasture down there, and it's in the process of being fenced in. Come on, guys. Hey, little boy. Let's see, I'm going to flip the camera around. They generally follow me more than walking ahead of me. I don't want ticks, I don't want chiggers, I don't want mosquitoes, and I don't want no-see-ums. I want to walk in comfort. Oh, I also don't want to find a snake, at least not a poisonous one. I don't care about king snakes and water snakes and garter snakes and all that, but I don't want to find a cottonmouth or a copperhead. Hey, Mama. Okay, usually Abba Zaba does a thing where she crawls down the hill. Abba Zaba, Mommy. I'll turn this around. Sorry for the weirdness here. There we go. Come on, Abba Zaba. Come down the hill. She belly slides. Hi, Logan. No. We don't own a ranch like Yellowstone. We're in East Tennessee, and we only have 65 acres. And we don't have cattle. We had a longhorn bull, but we sold him. We had a little heifer calf, but we sold her. I've never done cattle, and I didn't want to learn all the things needed to run cattle. It just, maybe eventually we'll get some once we get all the fences and water and all in. I don't know. She's not going to do it. Hey, Robert. Good to see you again. Yeah, the construction site was just down the road. I've got to keep my eye on Abba Zaba as I'm walking away, because when she comes over that hill, she generally scratches her belly on the rocks. She's not interested in following me right now. Come on, Abba Zaba. Come on, Mommy. Goodness, this is weird. Logan, I don't know that I'm like Beth, but in my younger days, a guy was bothering me, like criminally bothering me, and I beat him up so bad that before they could press charges against him, they had to take him to the emergency room and stitch him up because I put a bad hurt on him. And but that was a long, long time ago. I haven't put anyone into the emergency room for assault in a really long time. Okay, I wouldn't recommend it. Skank hunt. You're hunting in the wrong place, sweetie. I'm a 62-year-old grandmother. But good luck finding someone who will answer your questions for you. Oh, goodness. Goodness me. You know, I know there are plenty of trashy girls on here who will gladly tell you that. Gladly. Okay, there's Abba Zaba. See how she's on her belly, scratching her belly on the rocks? That's the money shot. Look at that girl. She does that every time. Okay, I'm gonna just walk away. I wish they would actually join me. Okay, I'm just gonna switch it around because I'd rather show you where I'm going instead of where I've been. There's a roar in the background. That's the train. We have railroad tracks near us, and we have a really busy road that our ranch is on. And that's unfortunately how one of our livestock guardian dogs got killed. Was he got out on the road one day. Best dog I've ever had. Oh my gosh, he was amazing. Oh, look at this. A tree branch came down and it's covered in, what is this? It's not turkey tail. I thought maybe it might be turkey tail, but I don't think it is. I'll eat turkey tail, but that's not what that is. Or if it is turkey tail, it's really dry, yucky. Okay, let's see where my goats are. I may have to holler for them. Oh yeah, they don't really care. I'm gonna mute this while I yell at them because otherwise I'll blast your ears out. Do you know that those goats aren't listening to me? I mean, I was hollering as loud as I could. Good grief. Okay, well, I'm gonna go down to the pasture. I don't know if my goats are going to follow me. If they stay here, that's fine. Oh my goodness. I gotta yell at him again. Can't even see them up there. They're not joining me. They never do this. They always come with me. Oy. I don't want to hike back up there and get them. My goats are being bad. Hey everybody, 3 of you left. There were a few more a few minutes ago. Say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Yesterday we had someone from India and someone from Poland. And we've got Robert, he's from Pomona. Hey Randy, I'm in East Tennessee. That's Rosie, that brown blob. Oh my goodness, these goats are being so bad. I have to hike back up there and get them, don't I? I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna holler at them again. They're like teenagers. Good grief. Hey, Norfolk, Virginia. I go through you every time I go visit my grandkids. Here I go up the hill. I said I wasn't going to do it, didn't I? We've got grandchildren up in Maryland. It's about a 6.5 hour drive if I go by myself. And if I take my mom, it's about an 8-hour drive. Illinois, hello. Oh, 160 acres in southern Missouri. Do you have forest? We've got forest. Just look here. Somebody cleared the forest here in order to put, I think, what they thought was going to be a driveway, but the grade is insanely steep. So it was going to be a driveway, that's right. The bulldozer guy bulldozed it like they said, and then he said, it would be better if you did a different thing. So they did a different thing. 160 acres. Do you hunt on that 160 acres? I imagine you've got a lot of deer, turkey, bear. We've got bear here. I just saw some turkey the other day. We have deer, a lot of deer, coyote, raccoons, bobcat, fox, and obviously goats that don't listen to me. They're supposed to be with me right now. God. I'm standing. I'm probably getting chigger bites and don't even know it. You guys have mountain lions up there? Dang, when we were out in California, we had a mountain lion that was a big male, and he was in the neighborhood. And one night, I took my little dog out for a walk with the grandkids. They live with us during the summer. Their mom works full time. And it was dusk, a little bit after dusk. It was kind of getting dark. And when I got back, my husband asked me if I took my 380 with me. And I said, no reason to, because I usually carry in my holster, but I just didn't put it on me for some reason that night. And I got on Facebook, and about a half hour later, someone saw that mountain lion right where my grandkids and I had been walking with the dog, about 1/10 of a mile away from our house. And that scared me, so I started carrying again, always. It freaks the grandkids out. They're city kids, and they've been raised in school to think that guns are evil and that only evil people have guns. So I've had to educate them on the reason to have a gun, and that was a really good reason. They understood that night. That mountain lion never came over to our property because we had donkeys. So none of our neighbors lost goats. We didn't lose any goats to the mountain lion. We lost a lot of ducks to coyotes and foxes, but we didn't lose anything to the mountain lion. But just the sound of those donkeys braying kept the cat away. Otherwise, we would have all had a problem with that big cat. He was huge. Hey, Oatmeal, Chesapeake Bay Bridge Farm. Are you near the Chesapeake Bay? That's on my bucket list to go visit the Chesapeake Bay, but there's no community access from where my daughter lives, even though it's just down the road. Hey, you brats, you didn't hear me calling you? It's like kids on a gaming system. You're telling them dinner's ready. I'm going to the store, come with me. The house is on fire, and they just ignore you. That's my goats right now. They're jerks. Yeah, one of our neighbors down the road, he said he saw a mountain lion when he was looking out his window. I mean, when you see him. I saw the mountain lion one day walking across our driveway at another look. We had two properties, and we had the house, one property, and then we had the other property that was just down the road, and that was what was our ranch property. I did see the mountain lion one day. That was before we had donkeys. And people tell you here that it's not a mountain lion, it's a bobcat. And then, or they'll say it was a dog. They don't trust that people see a mountain lion. They can't trust that they know what they're looking at here. I don't know. I mean, I've seen pictures. I saw a picture online, probably on Facebook. Somebody said, what is this? It was a picture of a bobcat. It even showed the bobtail. And a bunch of people said it was a mountain lion. And I lost faith. I lost faith that day. But I do believe our neighbor. He knows the difference between a bobcat and a mountain lion. We see plenty of bobcats. And believe it or not, as you know, Randy, mountain lions don't have a bobtail. So, yeah, I would be surprised if I saw one. If I hear it, I'll know what I'm hearing, because the one we had out in California, you could definitely hear it doing its scream. And I think they make a chirp sound, but I don't remember hearing the chirp. My grandparents lived in town, and there was a grove of eucalyptus trees just across the street from their house. And their neighbor's dog disappeared 2 houses down from them. And all that was found was a splat of blood on their front porch. And a couple of weeks later, some kids were walking to school through the eucalyptus patch, which is how they got to school. And one of them looked up, and there was a mountain lion in one of the trees watching them walk by. And these were school children, and that was their way to and from school. So Fish and Wildlife came and killed the cat because it was hunting children. It had already eaten the dog, obviously. That was an easy meal. But, I mean, the dog got out accidentally, poor thing, and wandered away, and it came home to be saved, and unfortunately the cat grabbed it on the front porch. Sad reality. I know they do. I know, Randy, they look nothing alike. You came across one face to face? Oh, gee. Yeah, that I might panic if I saw that at night. I was probably pretty protected that night by unseen forces, because I walked my 3 grandchildren and my little, how much does Vicky weigh? 25-pound rat terrier mix, right there where that cat was, 1/10 of a mile from my house. It probably watched us. Look at those brats. They're still not coming with me. Oh, I just hollered at him. I spared your ears by putting it on mute. The boys are behaving. The girls are just being brats. To your puppy. Huh. I spoke to a woman who had a bunch of 3- and 4-month-old goats in a stall in her barn at night. And there was I'm about the same age livestock guardian puppy in with them. And a female mountain lion broke down the door to the stall and killed all of the baby goats, left the dog alone, and then left. So she called Fish and Wildlife. They came that next night. The cat came back and they killed her. He said what she did to that stall door and her size, just her aggression and her size, was something he had never seen or heard of. She had killed so many goats, about I'm going to guess about 15 miles away from our house at the most. 10 to 15 miles away, there were a bunch of ranches that got hit, and goats and sheep got killed, mostly goats. We didn't have a whole lot of sheep where we came from. But oh gosh, she was giant, and she was bigger than most male mountain lions, and she was very aggressive and not going after deer, which there are plenty of deer, not going after anything but goats, easy prey. There's my girls, two of them being brats, mommy and daughter. Nani's the mommy. Yeah, they do kill to eat, which is weird that she killed all of the baby goats and didn't. She may have taken one and eaten it. She may have dragged one away. But she left most of them in there just dead. Usually when that happens, I think they're teaching their babies how to kill. So there's a lot of waste. But she just tore into all of them and killed this woman's entire year's worth of baby goats. And I tell you what, the woman who posted it on Facebook got annihilated in the comments by people. The whole thing of you're living in their territory kind of thing. That's their house, not yours kind of stuff. No compassion for her, the fact that she had lost an entire year's worth of goats, for the trauma of going down there and finding what she found. Only compassion for the cat. And it's no different when they kill a human. People don't tend to feel sorry for the human. They feel sorry for the cat. Look who decided to join me at the new pasture. Hey, you guys, come down here and start eating so that I don't have to do any mowing. Not that I would. My husband's been down here mowing. It's looking beautiful. But down here, we're hoping the goats take care of all this, but we have to get it completely fenced right next to the road. Not my preferred place to have them, but it is cleared. All 65 acres of our property was cleared back in the 70s. It was a cattle ranch, and most of the trees were gone. And then they just sort of left it alone, and now it's a big old forest again. It's pretty amazing how Mother Nature takes back over when need be. Okay, I'm just going to sit down here and hope that those little turds decide to join me. Come on, boys. They don't like the sound of the vehicles. It kind of scares them. No Sasquatch. Not that I know of. Never smelled it, never heard it, never seen any pictures. Oh, warrior, you're sad. You're a sad person. I hope you find someplace else to be gross. This was a burn pile a week or two ago. Just taking care of some stuff that was down. When Hurricane Helene blew through the area, she knocked down quite a few trees. And one of them was a shagbark hickory that I collected bark off of. And this morning I made syrup. I've got the video posted in my shorts. You can go see that. It's called Poor Man's Maple Syrup. It's made from shagbark hickory. It does have a nice flavor to it, and the nice thing about it, besides the fact that it's, just bark from a tree, I can make it any time of year. With the maple, I have to tap the trees for generally about a 2-week period of time and make the syrup right then. But with the shagbark, I can make it any time of year. I don't, oh, there's a goat. Okay, I don't really see much. Hey, Sparky. That's my baby. Our little buck. He'll be the daddy next year. He'll be big enough and mature enough. He'll be able to be the daddy. We have a creek that runs along the length of our property next to the road. The problem we have with it is it goes under an old Navy site. Um, the Navy wasn't real careful with what they dumped on their property, so it's possible there's some chemicals in the water leaching out of the soil. We'll have the water tested before we let the animals drink out of it. But yeah, we've got a creek. It runs year round. Thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. We used to have, on our ranch in California, we had a river. It was called a river, but it was more of just a big creek. But it got like a river during the heavy rains. And I used to prospect for gold, and I would teach people how to read the river, to know where to look for gold, and then how to dig for it and pan. And everyone I took found gold. That was fun. And then we also had a small campground, and I didn't always take people to the river. It just depended on their schedule and my schedule. Sometimes I just brought them a bucket of pay dirt and let them pan it down and find gold. I always made sure there was gold in it. I kind of set it up just because I wanted them to succeed. So some of our campers would pan for gold in their campsite. It was pretty fun to watch them find their first pieces of gold. Nice to meet you, Randy. I appreciate the conversation. Thank you. Oh, there's my goats. Why are they up there? They should be down here. That just got mowed up there. That's ridiculous. Okay, Randy, take care. Well, they're probably going to go down by the road. Oh, little stinkers. If you're on here, think about giving me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. I haven't been doing a lot of lives lately. I usually just post shorts, but in the last couple days I've done a few lives, and I really enjoy it because I like talking to people one-on-one. Oh, there they go, running back. Are they gonna go back up the hill? I'm gonna have to holler at them so they know I'm here. Hey, Logan, you're looking at it. It's not really a farm. It's more of a forest. And the goats are going to help us eat it down. We only have 6 goats right now, but hopefully eventually we'll get back up to the numbers we had in California. We'll run 20 to 30 at a time. Hey, old man T, you're looking at it. I'm sitting right here pointing at it. Forest all around. Forest, forest. I'm sitting out in an open area, but there's forest all around me. Let's see, all I see up there is Sparky, our little buck. Oh, there's Rosie, and I see Abba Zaba. I don't see the other ones. Well, this is no good. Sparky, come here, baby boy. Sparky. Hey, Rosie. Hi, Nani. Hi, Nani. There's my old girl. Let's see if I can zoom in on her. She is, I think she's 14 years old. That black goat. I have to figure out how old she is. I'd have to go back and look at the pictures from way back, uh, 2011, 2012. I think we got her in 2012. She was a year old, so she's born in 2011. Yeah, she's 14. It's peaceful until a really loud car or motorcycle goes by, then it's pretty loud. They totally abandoned me. Turds. Yeah, no Bigfoot yet. But, I'm always looking for it. Looking for signs. Wouldn't even know what to look for, actually. I know people who have, well, I'm sorry, I know a person who says he had an encounter with a Bigfoot. I haven't really talked to him about it. That was out in California. So I don't know the whole story. According to him, it was quite traumatic. I'm not sure what it was. I think I would have to buy his book in order to know the whole story. This dead tree in front of me is going to be cut up and made into planter borders so that I can plant flowers for butterflies, because I really want a butterfly garden. So I need to get my chainsaw out and cut some. I'll probably make 4 by 8 foot beds, and I'll just dump bucket loads from the tractor in the flower bed and then sprinkle some seeds and grow my own little butterfly haven for the monarch butterflies. So it has to be, well, for all butterflies, but the main one I want to feed is the monarch butterflies, and they like the milkweed. So every year I collect milkweed seeds with the plan to grow them. Oh, let me yell at my goats. Oh, look who just figured out where I am. Hi, you rats. Rats on hooves. There's Rosie. She's my alpine. She gives me lots and lots of goat's milk. Here's Gimo. He was a bottle baby. He was half dead when I found him in the pasture. His mama rejected him. I don't remember why Patches was a bottle baby. He might have been a twin to a first-time mom. So he was raised on the bottle as well. These are my 2 baby boys. And then back there is Sparky. He is our miniature Nubian buckling, and he came to us from a farm. His mama got pregnant, and the lady doesn't know who the daddy was, so he couldn't be registered. So we brought him home a couple of months ago, and he's doing really well. And then let me swing around here. Abba Zabba's daddy is a boar, and her mama is Nani the black goat. And Abba Zabba's around 13, maybe 12. And here's our girl, my matriarch, with all her cashmere. 15 people in here. If you don't mind hitting the like button, that would be awesome. Subscribe. I do post a lot of farm stuff with my goats, my ducks, some gardening videos. And then I also like to post things about heavy equipment. If I see a construction site going with work being done, generally I'll try to get some video. If I see a big piece of equipment moving down the highway, I'll post it. And this boy here likes to stand near me and pee. Sometimes he'll come right up to me and be sniffing me in the ear if I'm sitting down, and he'll be peeing. He's just a weirdo. Tell me where you're from. I'm in East Tennessee. And I know yesterday I had someone from India, someone from Poland. Today we've got someone from Illinois. And, oh, Guy, please, who else? someone from Chesapeake Bay Bridge Farm, which is awesome. I'll have to find them on here so I can follow their content. Husband's doing some weed eating, so that's that sound you hear in the background. Maybe not in the background, it's pretty loud. This was a big tree. You can see there the grass was covered up here. Oh, and we've got crawdads. I just noticed that. I'm pretty sure that's a crawdad hole. Indeed, check that out. This is a crawdad chimney. And right in there, down below, is a crawdad. The hole probably goes all the way down to the water table, so it can drink down there, and then it'll come up and eat. And this is fresh, fairly fresh, well, probably last night's mud. Must have another entrance. We have a lot of crawdads here. Yeah, Logan, it's my boy. He's just a weirdo. It took me a while to figure out what he was doing, but Patches, you're just a weirdo. He loves his mommy. I'm his mommy. He likes to be with me. We usually sell the babies, although I'm not real good at it sometimes, but we generally sell the babies. And the only time we put a goat in the freezer is if it is either injured or to the point where its quality of life has dropped. We had an injured buckling, and he wasn't going to survive his injury, but it wasn't infected or anything. So he was butchered, and I ended up actually making dog food from him. My only option, if we have to put one down, is to bury it and then the coyotes dig it up, or the bear. We had a bear dig up a dog one time. It was awful. Or throw it away and put it in the landfill, and that just kind of seems like such a waste. So even though they are our pets, when they get to the point where their quality of life isn't what it should be, we do put them in the freezer, and it's done very humanely. We do it because they're in pain, and we do have one right now that we had to put in the freezer because Winter, her arthritis was getting really bad. She was having a hard time walking, and she was just staying in one place in her stall all day long. None of the other goats liked her. They all beat her up. So we put her down humanely, and then we had her butchered because I didn't want to throw her in the trash, and I didn't want her dug up and dragged all over the place by the wildlife. So that's it. We don't raise them as meat animals necessarily. I have not shot bear or coyote. The only time I've ever unholstered my sidearm was when I found a coyote outside my chicken coop, but I wasn't able to get off a clean shot, so I didn't end up shooting it. Hey, big boy. We used to raise ducks commercially for the restaurant market in San Francisco, and we lost about $2,000 worth of ducks one day when the coyotes came in and just slaughtered our entire flock of ducks. That was a really hard hit financially. We never really recovered from that. And now we live here where I only have about 14 ducks. Actually 16 ducks, and it's much more manageable. We don't supply meat for anybody. I saw a bear one day on the driveway. It was probably about not 200 pounds, probably a 2 to 3 year old cub, and it took off, and my livestock guardian dog took off after it and chased it off the property, and he came home pretty proud of himself. I was really proud of him too. But we have 3 bears on the property that the game cameras have seen. We have 21 game cameras, and they've picked up 3 different bears. Have to have a lot of game cameras here. We've had some poaching incidents, and there's a lot of meth heads in the area, so we have a lot of game cameras. Sparky likes to be up on the trees. Rosie, you're not coordinated enough for that, girl. I love you, but come on. Oh, Sparky puts up with a lot of abuse. Yeah, actually what we have is our land has been vacant for decades. So a lot of people have grown up around here hunting on our property before it belonged to us. And we now have a couple of hunters that come and they do a little bit of deer hunting on our property with our permission. And they found a tree stand, which is in our shop right now. And then I found where someone had been baiting the deer, and my livestock guardian dog was guarding a pelt. They left the pelt behind. They took the head, they took the meat. So it must have been a buck, but they left the pelt behind, and I imagine the guts were there too. The coyotes had probably eaten the guts. But I found my guardian dog in a weird place, and I went and found where they had been baiting with pumpkins and other squash. So we cleaned up the baiting area and put up some signs and got rid of there was also a deer that had been hit by a car that was just missing a hindquarter. So someone, maybe the person who hit it, followed it into the forest a little bit, and then I don't know if they killed it or what, but they left most of it. They just took one of the back legs. So that got dragged up. Everything got hauled off in the tractor and put at a different location, away from the road, away from that part of the ranch. Where's my other goats? We did have some equipment stolen, so we moved some of our cameras around so that we could have a better view. And we also went online with them, so they let us know whenever somebody's on our property. So we have cameras that alert us to anybody coming on the property. We just have to protect ourselves. And always carry. Not that I want to have to use it, but I do have to protect myself. Would I rather... Oh, RH, that's extremely tacky. I'm sure you get laughs with that one in the bar, though. And this right here, you can't really tell what that is, but it's an autumn olive tree. It's a non-native invasive tree that is a really bad tree. These are volunteers. There's a little patch of them right here. They have one of the most delicious fruits I've ever tasted, and I make jelly every year, not jelly, jam, every year from the autumn olives. I mean, they are so good. Holy cow. I didn't plant them, nature planted them, but I will certainly take advantage of it. I'm a big time forager. If I can find something that's edible, I'll eat it. Love it. There's also wild rose in there, and what is there, a berry? I think there might be a berry in there as well. And looky there. This is the plant I love. This is the milkweed that the monarch butterflies lay their eggs on, and their caterpillars eat the plants. This is what I collect the seeds from. And someday I will have my officially licensed butterfly weigh station set up somewhere on the ranch here. But, oh, I'm so glad. Look at all these. I've never had them down here before. So this is great. Oh, and this is another, I think this is another milkweed. Let me see. Maybe not. Maybe it's not a milkweed, but look at those. And those over there. And my husband is really good. He's paying close attention and he's not cutting down the milkweeds. These might not survive. If the fence goes up before they flower and set seed and all that, they won't survive the goats. But if the fence doesn't go up, they will. And maybe the monarchs will come and lay some eggs on them. That'd be awesome. I love butterflies. So I have plans to become a certified monarch butterfly weigh station at some point in the future. 11 people, give me a thumbs up. Ask a question. Tell me where you're chatting from. You have persimmons and sassafras. You know what, Randy? We've got a lot of sassafras, and I plan on making some root beer at least once. I might even make a syrup with sassafras just to see what it tastes like. It feels like it's in the 70s. It's supposed to be in the high 60s to low 70s today, and it feels like it's in the low 70s. There's just a slight cool breeze blowing. Hummingbirds are awesome. They are fierce. We used to have some that had the copper heads, and they were pretty much bullies. They'd beat up all the other ones at the feeders. Do you know, and there's a lot of guys in here right now, the male hummingbirds, they will mate with as many females as they can. The only reason they let the females eat at their either the flowers or the feeder that they have is if she lets them mate with her. And then once she's mated, she goes off and builds her own nest, lays the eggs, and raises those babies completely alone, absent the father. The males never get involved in anything other than mating. That's all they're there for. That's why they're so fierce when they're trying to protect a food source, because that's their thing. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Pretty smart? I think it's pretty interesting that the females do 100% from building the nest to raising the babies, and the males are never part of it. And if she comes back when she's raising her babies to drink at that feeder or get nectar from those flowers, he won't let her. He probably says, I don't even know you. They aren't bird brains. No kidding. Craws, Alaska and stuff. 46 and windy in Alaska. Alaska's on my bucket list of places to go. I haven't had a chance to go there. My husband has cousins up in Alaska. They are near Fairbanks. I would love to go. It's on my list. I've been to all but a handful of states. The upper East Coast I haven't been to. I haven't been to Massachusetts, New Hampshire. Gosh, I can't think of the other state. Maine. There's a little chunk up there I haven't been to. But I've been to the rest of the U.S. I just knocked Louisiana and Mississippi off my bucket list. Last month I went to some races, drag races down in Belrose, Louisiana. Stopped in Mississippi, in Laurel, Mississippi, and went to the store of that couple that has the TV show. I think it's on the DIY network. Abba's looking at me. I was her mommy. Even though Nani is her biological mother, Nani rejected Abba Zaba and her brother when they were born. So I had to hold Nani and force her to let them nurse 2 or 3 times a day, and then I would supplement with bottles in between. And they stayed in the house for a long, long time. Abba Zaba used to wear a diaper in the house. And her brother wore a pad. I just wrapped a pad around his belly. It's pretty funny. Yes, crows are amazing. I love crows. I've had 3, I wouldn't call them pet crows, but I've rehabilitated or cared for 3 crows that couldn't be in the wild. And I've got some short videos of my last one, BB. She came to me, her rehabber had to go have surgery, so she brought her to me. And when she came to us, she was 100% a pet. She was not a wild bird at all. She had been raised to be a pet. So she never really changed. We did release her, but unfortunately, she tangled with a peregrine falcon, and she ended up with an infection that couldn't be treated. I needed amoxicillin to treat the infection, and I can't get that without a prescription. So unfortunately, she died from the infection. I didn't even know she was sick, honestly, but I would have liked to have had the opportunity to treat her. She didn't tell me she was sick. I just found her dead in the yard one day. But she had been tangling with a peregrine falcon on a regular basis, and I guess it must have stuck its talon in her, and she got some kind of an infection as a result. She was a sweet girl. She used to help me milk the goats. The way she helped me was she would stand on my head and rip out my gray hairs while I was milking the goats. Yes, it is illegal. I was a licensed rehabilitator for well over a decade, so I rehabbed quite a few 3 crows. And one of them I turned over to another rehabber, and unfortunately, she left him outside in his crate, and a raccoon broke his leg, and so he had to be put down. And then one of them was, I wasn't involved in much of his care after a certain point, and the person who took over care didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't licensed, and that crow didn't make it. And then BB was released. She was in the wild. She was doing really, really well on the ranch, but she couldn't. She didn't have a flock to protect her from that peregrine, although the ravens protected her. The ravens hated her, but at the same time, when the peregrine falcon was around, they chased it away from her a few times. That was pretty neat to see. Their hate for the peregrine falcon was greater than their hate for the baby crow that was flying around. All right, Randy, thank you. Thanks for coming in and talking. I appreciate it. These guys. Yes, Randy, definitely. Yeah, Gimo getting in a good scratch. Hey, Chaos. 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 Oh, that's my dog. He's ignoring me. He's acting like he's a goat. See the goats? They see him, but they don't know what he is. Now do you know what he is? Chaos. I just hollered at the dog, and he acts like I'm not even talking to him. In Jurassic Park, the ravens will steal food out of your... wait, I'm sorry, Juno. I'm sorry. I have dark glasses over my glasses. I'm taking those off. It's hard to read with them on. That makes more sense in Juno. They will steal food out of your Costco cart? Dang. That's bold. Do you guys have a lot of bald eagles that hang out where the fishing boats are? Um, I've seen video, and the bald eagles look like as thick as we have seagulls down here uh, on the lower part of the continent. They're such pretty goats. I love their moon spots. And guess who's pooping? Yeah, in Juneau, the ravens steal food out. That is amazing. Dang. Craws, Alaska, and stuff. What is craws? There's my girl. Yeah, by the fish processors. I thought so. I'd seen some videos of them. They seem like they're pretty docile. They just want their fish heads and tails, I guess. And around here, when you see a bald eagle, it's a big deal. Like a big, big deal. We've got a few nesting pairs that I follow on Facebook. I'm watching their babies grow up every year. It's pretty cool. Ah, your friends call you Craw. Okay, cool. Emo is always biting me. Oh, and now you're going to join in. Hey, that's an elbow. That's elbow skin. Stop it. Turkey. You're both being mean to your mommy. It's not okay. Okay, the lickies are fine on my hand, but don't bite me. We're going to have a bumper crop of blackberries this year if they set fruit. I don't know how well the pollinators are going to do. We don't have a lot of honeybees here, but we do have a lot of other pollinators. So hopefully they'll get the job done and we can have a lot of blackberries. I like blackberries. I like making blackberry syrup. I don't make blackberry jam. I guess I could. I just kind of don't. One thing about picking the blackberries is I have to be careful not to get too many big black ants in the blackberries because they're bitter. So I have to be careful when I put them in the freezer that there aren't a lot of black ants in the bag. Otherwise, it adds a really bitter flavor to whatever I make. Seems kind of weird, but it's a fact. There he is doing the hard work that I don't do. It's actually the city's property. But if we don't keep it mowed, they spray it with chemicals, and we don't want the chemicals on our property. So he knocks it down. We adopted Rosie when her humans couldn't keep her anymore. She came with her brother, but her brother was really mean to the other goats, and being such a big breed, the Alpines, I ended up rehoming him. Couldn't keep him. No, Logan, that's my husband. I don't have a son. I have 3 daughters. They're all grown up and married, and they live far away. One lives at the beach in California, and 2 live up in Maryland. This tree would make amazingly hot firewood. It would burn fast and hot. There's the dog. Hey, Chaos. How come you ignored me earlier, you goofball? Hmm? No, my loving daughters all have jobs. Of course he has to pee. That's our Catahoula. Craws we have. I sold my last flock of chickens right about the time I should have kept them. When bird flu blew around the country and all those chickens got killed, I had just gotten rid of my flock of chickens about 6 months earlier. We have a lot of ducks, so we eat a lot of duck eggs, but I do want to get chickens. They certainly have a place on the homestead. We should have them, but we don't. In the past, I have raised meat birds. We get the Cornish cross, the big white ones. I've also done Red Ranger meat birds. I found those to be really good as well. And then I've also raised different breeds for eggs. And in the past, I sold hatching eggs, chicks, young pullets, and I used to supply a zoo with my young little cockerels and roosters that I didn't need to keep. That was nice. They use them to give their big cats a more complete diet. So I would take them, the young roosters, in Ziploc bags right out of my freezer. But I do plan on getting chickens at some point because we like to eat chicken. And I like to know where my meat comes from. We eat a lot of, well, we don't eat a lot of duck, but we do eat some duck. And I kind of want to raise turkeys, but at the same time, you can't raise turkeys and chickens together. So I don't really want to add turkeys. I'd rather add chickens. We raised Coturnix quail. You want to look into that. They are pretty hardy. I don't know how well they would do in Alaska. Check them out, see if there's anybody that raises them. But they're really easy to butcher. They're small, of course, but their eggs are super good for you. They're a pain in the neck to crack because they're so small. But we raised Coturnix quail and loved them. We will be adding them. We'll probably add them before we add chickens back again. We don't live at the ranch property. We live in a house in the city, just about 10 minutes away. And it's hard to keep a whole lot of critters safe at night. So until I live here, I won't have a lot of different coops. We also used to raise peafowl. At least we had peafowl. We tried to raise them, but our peacocks kept getting killed by coyotes and bobcats. So that didn't work out. But we had peahen, ducks, chickens, quail, guinea. We had guinea for a long time. Kind of a pain. They make so much noise, and they're dumb. They'll hatch out babies and then just abandon them that day. And then I'm running around trying to find all the babies to keep safe because the moms fly up in the trees at night to roost, and they don't sit on their babies, so the babies just die of cold at night. They're really not smart birds. The great horned owls took out most of our guinea, and we sold them the rest before it was a total loss. So I won't do guineas again, most likely. Ducks, chicken, and quail. For sure, we're going to do quail again. Yeah, in Alaska, do you guys have any producers up there, or do you have to get your chicken from somewhere else? You could probably get away with, when you do end up doing chickens, get some solid dual purpose birds. I don't know if you can have a rooster where you are, but we just put most of our roosters in the freezer. And my neighbor didn't eat a whole lot of her chicken. She raised a lot of chickens for show, so she had a lot of culls that weren't good enough to show. And she used those to make her dog food. She didn't really like to eat it that much, but we ate ours. Sometimes I'll make dog food with it, but usually we ate it. And I like being able to go to the freezer and grab something that I raised. I know it had a good life all the way up until the last 3.5 seconds of its life. And we did used to eat a lot of duck. We haven't lately. We just don't have that many anymore. We used to have a butcher that charged, I think she charged $5 to butcher the ducks. That's a bargain. And then we have a neighbor here who goes trout fishing. We've got the best trout fishing in the country right here, just about 10 minutes away from our house or something. And he went fishing one day and brought me 6 or 8 fillets that are the size of one of my biggest cast iron pans. I have to cut the fillets almost in half just to fit in the cast iron pan. Now I want fish for dinner. I'm gonna go thaw out a fillet for myself. Buff Orpingtons are a good dual-purpose bird. They're sweet birds too. Any of your Orpingtons are good birds. You won't get as many eggs out of them as you will some of those egg layers, of course, but the egg layers are real flighty. I used to have brown leghorns, and I've had white leghorns in the past, but they're just completely psychotic birds. They never calm down. Even if you raise them as a pet, they just never calm down, at least not for me. But dang, man, you can do good with the Orpingtons and just put if you let your hens go broody, although I don't know that they tend to go broody. I had one that did, but I think it's pretty rare. But if you get yourself an incubator, if you have a cockerel or a rooster and get an incubator, you could raise up your dinner. Well, I hope your coop dreams turn out for you. It's a fun way to feed the family, but chickens can be heartbreakers. They find very creative ways to die sometimes. Some of the most ridiculous ways to die. Ways you can't imagine. And you always have to look out for mites and lice. And they won't tell you. You just have to, examine them and make sure they don't have them. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of salmon. Dang. That's nice. My uncle used to catch salmon. I'm thinking he caught it off the California coast. And he canned it. That was some good stuff. I need to get myself a pressure canner because I love canned fish and canned salmon. I could eat that like candy. In fact, I'd rather eat that than eat candy. I used to go ocean fishing with my dad just about every weekend when I was growing up, right off the Pacific coast. That was fun. I grew up fishing in ponds with my dad and my grandpa, and my brother would come sometimes. But I don't think my brother liked it much. By the time I was a teenager, if it was a good day, Dad would take the boat out. He was a scuba diver, and he was the captain of the scuba diver boat. And I would bring a fishing rod and fish. I can't remember. I guess I got sea bass. Mostly got sea bass. I probably caught some what we would call reds, and I can't think of what they are. My dad was a spear fisherman, so he would get lingcod, cabezon. I could catch cabezon and sea bass. One time, I think my dad pulled in a line, and he had a cabezon. Don't remember how much it weighed, but it had a lingcod attached to it. The lingcod tried to eat it, and it didn't let go, and it landed on the boat. So he got 2 fish in one. Yeah, you guys have to be really careful. I've heard that putting electric around the coop protects it from bears, but that's the only way to keep the bears out. Yeah, the owls are, that's a tricky one. I love owls. Because I was a rehabber for so many years, I've raised a lot of baby owls, and I had an education bird that was a great horned owl. So hearing my guineas get carried away by the owls at night was a tough one for me. I just decided to get out of raising guineas. They'll also take and grab 3 or 4 or 6 baby ducks at a time if they're huddled up next to their mamas at night. They'll just swoop down and grab them and fly off with them. They're tough. They're survivors. Yeah, I've eaten a lot of lingcod growing up. My parents would have big seafood feasts after we spent the day on the boat. My dad would get abalone. Back then, you could still find abalone off the California coast. And he would get scallops, and then fish. And I would do the fishing over the edge. Sometimes we would bring home crabs. I'm trying to think what else. We'd get mussels occasionally. We had to be careful with the red tides. I don't know if you guys have red tides up there. I don't think the water gets warm enough for it, but we have red tides down off the coast of California, and it puts toxins in the seafood, so you have to be careful with some of that. But yeah, a lot of weekends we had big seafood feasts at our house, and we might have 20, 30, 40 people over for dinner. It's really fun. Oh, I think I interrupted Mr. Patches going pee. He's got that very peaceful look on his face. Yeah, he's definitely peeing. Now he's done. You're gonna bite my leg? You're kind of a turd. You've been carrying this around your head for a while. Hey, little boy. This is Gimo Zabi. Oh, Nani's gonna scratch her belly. She won't let me scratch her with a hairbrush. She gets all weirded out about it. But I know she has that itch. Yeah, you know what, Cross, I'm definitely going to go home and thaw out one of my fillets and have that for dinner tonight. That, some white rice. We've got some greens around here. It's pokeberry bush. It's poisonous if you don't cook it right. You have to boil it 3 times. Boil, rinse, boil, rinse, boil, rinse, and then eat it. So I think I'm going to collect some and have that as my greens tonight because it's growing like crazy right now. And then the pokeberries themselves, I'll probably be making jelly and syrup out of them. Again, poisonous, but only because of the seeds inside the berries. The berries themselves aren't poisonous, just the seeds. So I just have to strain them. I like to live on the edge eating poison plants. You used to fish squid and sardine in California? Really? Yeah, winter fishing in California is not anything like winter fishing in Alaska. You know, they have the California government and the activist federal side of things and the Coastal Commission have all worked together to pretty much ban all fishing off the California coast, and Oregon and Washington as well. They've put so many fishermen out of business. It's really sad, and it's affected all the harbors. It's just disgusting. It's really hard. The ones that have stuck around are the ones that can go out past the 2 miles that don't rely on fishing closer to the shore. And they bring in the bigger fish, the shark, which is what I used to buy at the butcher quite a bit, or at the fish store quite a bit, was shark. Squid, I used to enjoy eating squid. My favorite was when it was smoked. And I'll still open a can of sardines and eat them. I just love canned fish. I like the fact that it's such an excellent source of calcium. Love Dungeness. Oh my gosh, that's the best. I've got a video on here somewhere in my shorts that shows, oh God, why do I always get a video of them peeing? Good grief. One of my shorts is of me frying up one of the trout fillet. When I was fishing as a child, going trout fishing with my dad, the fillets were about maybe 7 inches long by maybe 2.5 inches high. These are a good 8 inches high and 14 inches long. I mean, these are huge trout. I can't even imagine. I need to get my license. I need to talk to my neighbor about when and where to fish and what to use, because I love fishing and I love eating fish. I feel very blessed to have grown up the way I did, with a family that enjoyed the ocean and the bounty from the ocean. My mom doesn't like seafood at all, but she was a trooper. She put up with it. We used to go get clams. We would get, they're called horseneck clams or gooey duck. We'd go on a minus tide out to the mud flats. We would canoe across over to the mud flats, and then we would dig up gooey duck clams and get those. That was a lot of fun. Those were pretty good too. They're huge. One gooey duck is a meal for a person. They're gigantic. "11 people. If you think about it, go ahead and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and tell me where you're from. I'd love to know. We can chat about what's going on in your part of the world. I'm in East Tennessee. I'm about a 5-minute walk away from Virginia, and about I want to say maybe a 20-minute drive away from North Carolina, maybe a little bit further. Northeast Tennessee, Tri-Cities area. It's beautiful here. Totally different. I mean, I grew up in basically high desert in California. The coast wasn't high desert, but it was definitely desert-like, not a lot of rain. And then we moved to the mountains near Yosemite National Park, and that was pretty much high desert. We were green for a couple of weeks every year, then everything just dries up. I've been on for, good golly, 78 minutes. And there's my dog. He decided to lie down. Isn't he a handsome goat? If you're interested in learning about shagbark hickory syrup, I just posted a video earlier today in my shorts, and it's the final process, but there's a video linked toward the bottom of that video where you can see the beginning process. I just peeled bark off of a hickory tree that fell down during Hurricane Helene, and I cleaned it up, and then I boiled it and strained it, and then added sugar and boiled it again and made shagbark hickory syrup. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and watch those videos. I might actually add shagbark hickory bark to my eBay store. You only need 8 ounces of it to make a decent batch of syrup. And it's a decent tasting syrup too. It really does taste good. I'm going to make myself some pancakes just so that I can have a reason to use it. A girl hurt me at school, you know. Well, Logan, that happens. Isn't there a song about that? Everybody hurts. Okay, I've got to get away from this buzzing weed eater. It's a little too loud for my taste. I'm going to grab my chair and move away. See if my goats decide to follow me. There's a bunch of blackberries there, the little white flowers. I think, wait, no, I could be wrong. That's a rose bush. I apologize. The rose hips are cool though. I've boiled those in sugar water to make a really good vitamin C syrup. Has a decent flavor to it and excellent, excellent source of vitamin C. So the wild rose hips aren't as big, obviously, as the domestic rose hips, but nowadays it's hard to find rose hips. I don't know if they're breeding roses that don't have hips or what, but the wild ones are about the only place to get them. I just felt a raindrop. I just felt 2 or 3 more raindrops. Oh boy. Yeah, the goats are getting raindrops on their heads. Actually, I've got to put this chair down here. Look at our driveway. Isn't that amazing? See, this is a gravel driveway. My husband was a road engineer for decades, and so he's a retired road engineer. He knows how to build driveways. We have the best driveway in town, and people ask where our ranch is, and when we tell them where it is based on the color of the gates, they go, "Oh yeah, the one with the really nice road." Yep, it's a really nice road. Better than a lot of roads, and it's a